In this video, we'll be making sure that we know how to check for conditions that allow us to use the central limit theorem for proportions. The central limit theorem for proportions tell us that proportions within various samples will be normally distributed, but only if three specific conditions are met. In a previous example, we surveyed a sample of 200 people to see the portion that owned pets. If I survey multiple samples, it is unlikely that the portion will be the same each time. Perhaps 37% of one sample owned pets, 39% from another sample, and 36% from a third sample. While the portions might not be the same, if three conditions are met, the proportions will follow a normal model. Let's talk about these conditions. First, the samples should be randomized. One of our randomized sampling methods discussed in our previous unit should be used. Second, we need to make sure that the 10% condition is satisfied. Our sample cannot be bigger than 10% of the population. So, for example, if we have a population of 2,000, 10% of 2,000 is 200. This means our sample size here cannot be more than 200. Finally, we need to make sure that the success-failure condition is satisfied. Our sample must be big enough to have at least 10 successes and 10 failures. For a population of 2,000 with 37% pet owners and a sample of 200, our successes is 37% of 200, 74, more than the required 10 successes. 63% of 200 is 126, more than the required 10 failures. The success-failure condition is satisfied. Here's a summary of what we've learned. Required conditions are the randomization condition, the 10% condition, and the success-failure condition.